Welcome to the Heartshine Tapping Circle. And I see we've got some people already in here getting ready to do some tapping. I'm just gonna do a couple things to make sure my volume's good. I want to let you know you can say hello to me in the chat if you would like. I've got the chat open here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's just start tapping and talking while we get started with the topic today. So, and if you don't know what tapping and talking is, it's just exactly that. It's just tapping and talking. So just tap along with me on the points as you listen, as I just give you an introduction to today's topic. And I want to thank everyone so much for being here today and joining me. And everyone that's watching the replay, I'm so glad that you're here. So today we're going to, hey Kim, hi, nice to see you. Today we're going to do some tapping on helping you to connect with the inner child, with your inner child. Hey, Lucinda, Snowy Maine. Oh my goodness. Woo. So we want to talk a little bit about first, before we actually do some tapping language, while we're tapping the points. If you're not already familiar with the inner child is just a part of self. It's just a part of yourself, okay? It's not good or bad necessarily. It's just a part of us. And the reason we do inner child work is because, we want to take a look at the part of ourself in the inner child that has trauma that we have not resolved. And, when I use the word trauma, it doesn't necessarily mean something really tragic. I know a lot of people think that word trauma is really, it might be overused, or you might think, well, I don't have trauma because nothing terrible has ever happened to me. But I want you to sort of just think about it like there's different kinds of trauma. There's big T trauma and little t trauma is what we say in clinical EFT. And big T trauma is stuff like what you probably think of when you say the word trauma, like, something that you remember that's huge. It was a big crisis, some kind of disaster or accident or really big thing that happened in your life that was very shocking and very devastating. But little t trauma is just stuff that happens when you're a child or anytime in your life that just has a real impact on you. I mean, it could be something really simple and something small, like something that was said to you by a parent or a sibling or a caregiver or a teacher that was seemingly innocent or benign, but we took it the wrong way, or it just devastated us emotionally, and it's something we're holding on to, and it's something that set up a pattern in our lives, an emotional pattern usually, where then we're just continuing to experience it over and over in different circumstances in our life. And it just keeps showing up. And as an adult, we're having these experiences where we feel like, we're not in control of our behavior, or we keep having experiences that we don't want to have. We can't seem to make changes in our life that we want to make. We can't get motivated to meet goals or to pursue dreams. We get stuck in unhealthy relationships with people or with systems, with organizations. And it's like, why? Why does this happen? Well, it happens because we're having a response to the present moment that's based in the past, right? And I think of the inner child, you guys, is also like the body, because the inner child is a part of ourself that is being expressed through our body. So the way the body responds to something. So if you think of this is how I give people an example of how do you know your inner child's getting triggered, right? People say that a lot. That word trigger is used a lot. What does that mean anyway, a trigger? Well, if your inner child is getting triggered, it's usually when you start to just get stressed about something that isn't that big of a deal. You have an overreaction to something that happens. Say, like, you get an email and you see it's from someone who you have, some conflict with at work. And as soon as you see their name in the subject line, you're just like, oh, and you read the email and you're just like, you're incensed, or you're nervous, or you're panicked, or you're anxious, right? And this is like an overreaction to what's actually happening in the moment. Maybe the email is just like a request, to talk about something or do something, but your inner child is responding as though it's a really big deal. Okay, it's your inner child. And if you're not aware it's the inner child, you might just feel like out of control. You just feel out of control. You're like, I don't know why I'm having this response to this situation. And it feels like it's coming from the outside, and you think it's that person. Well, that person is mean to me or this or that. And yeah, maybe they are. I mean, it doesn't negate people having bad behavior in your life. But wouldn't it be nice to be able to just be in control of your own responses and feelings towards your external circumstances and in relationships? I mean, would it be nice to just be able to have like really good boundaries with people and, to just have an appropriate response to things that come up in the moment? When things come up in life, you want to have an adult response. Sure, there's still stresses, but that's really why we do the inner work. We do it because we want to be able to actually live in the present moment, right? We want our body to feel comfortable living in the present moment. And the inner child is going to be constantly triggering us in our body to have a response to the past. So I just wanted to give you a little backstory on that, just in case you didn't know, or maybe you just want a little kind of a refresh on that. So we're looking today at just tuning in, because here's the thing. And he's like, this is really ongoing work. If you're going to start doing inner child work, this is ongoing work. And this is something I tell people, like, sure, you can tap with a practitioner, and you can work with a therapist and stuff doing inner child work. But it's a lot like tapping, where you definitely want to do it on your own in between sessions you're getting with a professional. Just like working out. If you have a personal trainer, you don't only work out when you're with the personal trainer, or you wouldn't get results. You have to go and do what they recommend, and you have to do your own workout in between your training sessions. So today we're going to just kind of tune into, how do we even connect with the inner child? What the heck does that feel like? This is weird. Hey, Glad, so nice to see you. So yeah, it could feel a little strange or uncomfortable if you've never done it before. What do I say to this inner child? Oh my God, it's usually a part of ourselves that we have not been paying attention to. We have not been paying attention to our inner child. We've been ignoring their needs because that's what we're used to usually. Like, we're not used to our needs being met in childhood in whatever ways that showed up in childhood. And now we're just kind of ignoring our inner child. We're just trying to get by. We're dragging the inner child along like a toddler that's digging their heels in, and doesn't want to go in the grocery store. Like, throws down on the grocery store floor, and you're dragging your inner toddler along in life, and it's hard. It's a lot of work. So let's just stop, right? Let's just stop, and let's learn to tune in to our inner child in a moment that we're feeling stressed, anxious, sad, lonely, upset, angry. All those emotions that can come up in a moment. It's okay. It's okay to stop and tune into your inner child and see what's going on here. What is this response I'm having? So let's go to the side of the hand now, everyone. And let's just take a moment. What we're going to do first, before we actually we're going to do an exercise to connect with your inner child, but let's just tap on just releasing any resistance that might be there. There's always resistance. Like, just assume there's resistance there. And go ahead and just take a moment and breathe with me. So take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, just tune into yourself. And just notice how you're feeling when you think about your inner child. Whatever comes up, are you having resistance? Are you having any feelings, any emotions, any thoughts? And then we're just going to do some release tapping. So just go ahead and you can either repeat my words, or you can just let these words be your own. I release anything and everything that might stand in the way of connecting with my inner child now. Let's go to the top of the head. And I release anything in my mind. I release anything in my body. Stay tuned into yourself. Breathe. I release anything in my heart. I release anything in my emotions. Take some breaths. I release anything in my nervous system. I release anything in my energy field. Let's go to the collarbones. I release anything in my past. Go under the arms now. I release anything in my present. Side of the hand. I release anything in the future. Top of the head. I release anything anywhere in the universe that stands in the way of connecting with my inner child now. Good. Let's just tap through the points. So let's take some more breaths on the eyebrow. I'm tuning in to my inner child now. I'm releasing any resistance. Releasing any blocks. Any negative emotions. Any fears. Let's go to the collarbone. And now what I'm going to have you do is, I'm just going to give you a couple choices. You can either just stay tapping here gently on the collarbones, or you can place your hands over your heart center. And if it's appropriate, close your eyes if you're not driving or operating machinery. And I'm just going to invite you now to just tune into a space that you feel really safe in. So whatever that is for you, it could be a beach or a forest or just a beautiful green space. It could be anything. Just your sacred, safe place. Just get really grounded in that space now. Just notice any details about this place that you're in, just to ground yourself in it. Maybe some colors. Are there any sounds there? Textures? Any smells? Good. And now that you're really grounded in this safe place, you're just going to invite your inner child now to appear before you at any age that they want to show up. You're just going to allow them to appear before you. And when you start to see them, just tune into what age you might think they are. Just notice what age is showing up for you. Just take a moment to notice any details that you can see, like what are they wearing? Can you sense their mood? Do they have anything in their hands? You might even see there's a background behind them. They might be in a particular place. We're just going to take our time and notice these things. Good. And just go ahead now and invite your inner child to either come sit with you or stand with you, or just come next to them. Invite them to connect with you in whatever way seems appropriate for you right now. See if they'll sit with you or hang out with you. And now that you've made that connection with your inner child, just take a moment to let them know, I really see you for who you are. I see you and I hear you. And whatever it is that you're feeling right now, it's okay. All feelings are allowed. Whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is you want to express, it's safe and it's okay. Because I'm here with you now and I'm listening. Let's see if you can get a response from your inner child, whether it be verbal or maybe just energetic, gesture. Just keeping that rapport going. And then a very important question that you can ask your inner child right now and every day is just very simply this. Is there anything that you need from me right now that I haven't been giving you? Is there anything that you need from me right now I haven't been giving you? I'm open. I'm open to knowing. See if you can get an answer. And whatever answer that is, just accept what comes. Just listen. Yeah, we're just going to stay here for a couple more breaths with your inner child. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take our answer, whatever that is for you. And if you didn't get an answer, it's okay. It may take a while for your inner child to trust you enough to talk with you and to confide in you. So be patient with them. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to let them know, I'm so glad that you came and talked to me today. Thank you for sharing with me. And I want you to know that I'm here for you. I'm going to be here for you no matter what. I'm not ever going to leave you again. I am going to be with you to face whatever challenges come up. You're safe with me because you're with me. You're in my heart all the time. I'm just tuning into that now. go ahead and let your inner child go ahead and go somewhere safe and fun where they can go play, and they can just feel like they can be free, a place they like to go. You're going to send them off there. Just know you can come back here anytime. And then you're just going to slowly come back. Inner adult is coming back here to the room that you're in. If you had your eyes closed, take a big breath and bring your eyes back in nice and slow. Let's start tapping through the points again now. And just take some breaths. Tap through the points with some breaths now. Just processing that energy, anchoring in that experience. If you got an answer from your inner child, just make sure that you're really paying attention to that answer, whatever that need was, if there was a need that came up. And let's come under the arms now. Let's just take a breath together real quick. We're going to stop tapping for a moment. Rub the sore spots a little. I like to do this after a little inner child dialogue. It's very soothing. And if you want to share in the chat, if anything came up for you in your inner child, or you got an answer that you're not sure about, or you're perplexed, or anything you'd like to share in the chat, you can. Sometimes that can happen where our inner child can kind of surprise us. Sometimes they can even have an attitude towards us that's surprising, or maybe they seem shy, or maybe they seem indifferent, or you can't get their attention. And it's like a real child, right? And so they have moods. And so if that did come up for you, then again, I'm just going to encourage you to just be really patient and just keep working with the inner child every day, and just keep showing up. And you'll start to really get that rapport going, and that trust will start to build, and you'll be able to do more work with your inner child if you do that every day. All right, let's do some more tapping. So whatever it is that came up for your inner child, that need, whatever they communicated to you, just hold that now in your energy field and just tune into it. We're going to do a little tapping on that. So just being able to know that we can reparent the inner child, we can meet those needs. So if you have any resistance coming up, like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, or I don't know if I can do this, or I'm not sure, I'm not sure how to handle this, we'll just do a little tapping on that. So your setup statement is really simple. Even though I'm not sure if I can meet these needs of my inner child, I don't know if I'll be comfortable connecting with my inner child. I acknowledge that this is a process, and I accept how I feel about this. Even though I'm not sure if I can meet my inner child's needs, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know how to reparent my inner child. Well, I hold myself in compassion, and I hold my inner child in compassion. Even though I don't know if I can meet these needs, I don't know what to do with this inner child stuff. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm open to the possibility that I can learn it as I go. This discomfort, this uncertainty, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can meet my inner child's needs. I don't know what to do with this inner child. I'm not sure if I can do this. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't have a lot of confidence. This seems a little woo-woo. I'm not sure if I can meet all their needs. But what if this is a process? What if I don't have to have all the answers right now? What if all I need to do is just show up and be present? What if that's enough for my inner child? What if I just show up every day and tune in and check in with my inner child and just let that be enough? I wonder if I could make that promise to myself. Can I just keep showing up every day and asking the questions I need to ask? Loving and accepting myself the way I am. Loving and accepting my inner child the way they are. Loving and accepting both of us. Loving and accepting both of us the way that we are right now. I think I can do that. I feel like that's something I can do. I don't have to get it perfect. This is a learning process. All is well in my world. Take a breath with me. Good. Okay. Very nice. So hopefully you got some answers, you got some connection, maybe you got some insights. Something came up for you while we were tapping. If you had doubts and you had any discomfort around this process, then hopefully you've gotten a shift around that as well. And you can certainly chat with me if you have something you want to share. And I'm so glad that you all joined me today. Everyone that's watching the replay, thank you for watching. We're going to do more of this inner child stuff. And I just want to say too that, the thing is, I know a lot of you are here on my channel because, you watch my content about healing from narcissistic trauma. And I just want to say that doing inner child work isn't necessarily exclusively just for healing narcissistic trauma, because inner child work is for, any kind of trauma that happens in childhood. And you don't have to necessarily have had narcissistic parents or a narcissistic family system to experience the kind of trauma in childhood that can set you up for narcissistic abuse in the future. And there are a lot of relationships that we have in our life that are unhealthy, that aren't necessarily narcissistic. So I just want to be really clear on that this inner child work is just so powerful because it can apply to so many areas of our life. It can help us with setting healthy boundaries with, everyone that we have relationships with. It can help us really start to show up in our life and be present and be able to handle the stresses that come in the day, the challenges that come up while we're just getting through our day, or while we're pursuing our dreams and our goals, things that we want to accomplish in life. If that's something, that you're struggling with. Hey, Valeria, nice to see you. If that's something you're struggling with, that's definitely something inner child work can help you with, because inner child gets in the way of so many processes. Like if you're building a business, and you're a transformation professional, and you're, trying to set up a website, or you're trying to create, marketing stuff for your audience, and you're procrastinating, and you're resisting, that's your inner child showing up, because there's something there that's not safe. The inner child doesn't want to be visible. The inner child doesn't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to get criticized and judged. And, there's all kinds of fears that come up. So the inner child work is very applicable to all areas of your life. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, we are just right at 30 minutes. And I just want to say thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for joining me and sharing. I hope you got something out of this. I'm very, very happy to see you all here. And I'll hopefully see you next month as well. Hey, Kim, thanks for being here. Let's take a breath together. Heart center, in through the nose, out through the nose and mouth. Feeling that connection in the field. And I'm sending you all love. I'll see you next time, okay? Thanks.